Vrindavan ramya-sthāna dibya-cińtāmani dhām ratana mandira manohara abrita kalindini re rajhamsa kelikore tahe shobhe kanaka kamala तारामध्ये हेमपीठ अष्टदलवेष्टित अष्टदले प्रधान नायिका तारामध्ये रत्नासने भूषियाचे दुईजने श्यामसंगे सुंदरी राधिका ओ रूप लावण्य राशी आम्ही या पोरीचे खासी हास्य परिहास संभाषणे नरोत्तम दास कोय नित्य लीला सुख मोय सदाई स्फुरुक मोर मने वृंदावन रम्यस्थान दिव्य-चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहर. Today we are on chapter 5, Antya-lila, how Pradyumna Mishra received instructions from Ramanand Raya. Vaigunya Kita Kalitaha Pashunya Vrana Panditaha Dainyarnave Nimagnoham Chaitanya Vaidyam Ashraye. I am infected by the germs of material activity and I am suffering from the boils of envy. Therefore, falling in the ocean of humility, I take shelter of the great physician, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Sachi. All glories to Sri Nityanand Prabhu. Indeed, he is the most glorious and most wonderful. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Advaita Prabhu, the ocean of mercy, to all the devotees such as Swaroop Damodar Goswami, Gadadhar Pandit, Sri Rupa Goswami, and Sri Sanatan Goswami. Ekadina Pradhyumna Mishra Prabhura Charane Dandavata Kari Kichu Kare Nivedana. One day, Pradyumna Mishra came to Mahaprabhu, offered his respects, and then inquired from him with great humility. He said, My Lord, Shuna Prabhu Moidina Grihastha Adhama Kona Bhagye Pana Chori Tomara Durlabha Charana. Krishna Katha Suni Bare More Ichha Haya Krishna Katha Kaha More Haya Sadaya. He said, My Lord, he said, kindly hear me. I am a cripple-minded householder, the most fallen of men, but somehow, by my good fortune, I have received the shelter of your lotus feet. I wish to hear topics concerning Lord Krishna constantly. Please be merciful upon me and kindly tell me something about Krishna. Prabhu kahen Krishna Katha ami nahi jani, sabe Ramananda jane tanra mukhe shuni. Mahaprabhu said, Pradyumna, I don't know so much Krishna Katha, but if you really want to hear, go to Ramanand Raya. Actually, I also heard from him. And the way he will tell you, nobody can cover those topics. And I'm very happy that you are inclined to hear topics regarding Krishna. The best course for you would be to go to Ramanand Raya. I see that you have acquired taste for hearing talks regarding Krishna. Therefore, you are extremely fortunate. Not only you, but anyone who has awakened a taste for Krishna Katha is considered to be the most fortunate. Dharma swanusthita pumsam vishwaksena katha suyaha Notpadyedayati ratim Shama eva hi kevalam. Mahaprabhu quoted a slok from Bhagavad which says, a person who properly performs his regulative duties according to Varna and Ashram, but does not develop his dormant attachment for Krishna or awaken his taste for hearing and chanting about Krishna, is certainly working fruitlessly. Shram eva hi kevalam. We may be very perfect in everything that we do, but if we do not develop the taste for Krishna, then shram eva hi kevalam. It is just shram. You're working hard like a donkey. In the end, you're not getting anything. Pradhyumn Mishra, being advised by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, went to the home of Ramanand Raya. There, Ramanand Raya's servant made him sit down in a proper place. Unable to see Ramanand Raya immediately, Pradyumna Mishra inquired from the servant, what is Ramanand Raya doing? Is he busy? The servant replied, Dui deva kanya haya parama sundari nitya gite suni puna vayase kishori. He said, sir, there are two dancing girls. In those days, it was a Devadasi Pratha. So girls would dance in Odisha temples. So Ramanand Rai, even though he was in he was in a government job, but he also used to train girls who would be dancing on these padas of Geet Govind. See, Jagannath, whatever the Odissi dance you do, Odissi dance is always done on the padas, on uh, the Ashtapadis of Geet Govind. So it all started. So from time the mandir is there, Odissi dance is done, and Odissi dance is for Jagannath only. And mostly it is done on the padas of Ashtapadi of Geet Govind. But we are having Geet Govind classes in the at other time. It's on the channel in Hindi. So Ramanand Raya was used to teach girls, young girls, dancing. So the servant said, sir, right now he's busy with those girls, and they are very youthful and they're very expert in dancing. Sei dune raya nibhita udyane nija natak gitera sikhaya nartane. Ramanand Rai has taken these two girls to a solitary place in the garden, and he's teaching and directing them to dance according to the songs that he has composed for his drama. So Ramanand Rai had composed a drama called Jagannath Vallabh Natak, and for that he was training the girls. Tumi ihava shiraha kshana ke asibena tabe yei agya dehi sei karebena. He said, sir, you please sit down. Once he's done with, I have already sent you a message to Ramanandji. Once he's done teaching the dance, he will definitely come and meet you. And whatever he will tell me, I will tell you accordingly. Pradhyumna Mishra remained seated there. Ramanand Raya took the two girls in the solitary place. Swahaste karena tara abhyanga mardana, swahaste karana snana gatra samarjana. He took the girls, he massaged their bodies and bathed them with water, and then he cleansed their bodies with his own hands. Swahaste parana vastra sarvanga mandana tabu nirvikara raya ramanande ramana. Even though he's dressing up the girls, he's doing their makeup, he's everything he's doing, because of course, I mean, that's how it is. They are going to dance, so he's taking care of it. So he's massaging, he's putting all the creams, lotions, whatever he has to put, and then he has to put all the makeup to them. So he's doing everything. He's touching them everywhere. But even after touching, his mind is nirvikar. There is no, his mind remains unchanged. So many times when you read this, it becomes very difficult. If your mind has a little vikar means some wrong thoughts. And if somebody sees, oh, this man is touching these two girls, it is inappropriate, he should not be doing this. And the other person is saying, no, but there is nothing in his mind. He's touching, but his mind is free. Sometimes people won't touch you, but their minds are corrupt. But here Ramananda is touching the girls, but his mind is free. He is not thinking anything wrong. he's touching the young girls. He says, Kashta Pashan Sparsha Haya Yaiche Bhava Taruni Sparshe Ramanandera Taiche Sabhava. Even though he's touching the girls, but for him, touching the girls is like touching a stone, touching a wood stone. So his mind is not into touching. His mind is he's just doing the work for the sake of doing. It's like women, if they have a male gynecologist, you go to a male gynecologist. And when you go to the hospital also, there are male nurses. So you're delivering babies. The male nurse is touching you everywhere. But the male nurse, is his mind, or the male gynaec, is his mind corrupt? No. They are doing their job. They're touching you at those parts where they're not supposed to touch. Any other man is not allowed. But when you deliver the baby, they are touching you. But do you think when they touch, in their touch, there is anything corruption? No, their mind is out of it. Similarly, in this profession of probably dancing, and you've been around with so many, so Ramanand Raya is teaching them, he's touching, but his mind is not into this at all. So his mind is like, here he's saying, while touching the young girls, he was like a person touching wood or stone for his body, and the mind was unaffected. Srila Ramananda Raya, he used to act in that way because he thought of himself in his original position as a maid servant of the gopis. Thus, externally he appeared to be man, internally in his original position, he considered himself as a maid servant and considered the two girls gopis. So this is another thing that is there. In Gopi Bhav, at one point, the bhava goes on increasing so much. Bhav means the emotion, the feeling, that you're always with the Radhani's Sakhis. And you are also a maid attendant, always serving them. So even though you're in the body form, even though you're in a male body form, you start thinking like a Sakhi internally. So Ramanand Raya's situation is like that. He looks like somebody who is in the government office. He looks like a male. But internally, he's like a female. And these two girls are like gopis to him. And internally in his mind, he's serving this maid servants of Radharani, or this maid servants of Jagannath-ji. So his mind is very pure. Mahaprabhura bhakta ganer durgam mahima tahe Ramanandera bhava bhakti prema sima. The greatness of the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exceedingly difficult to understand. Sri Ramanand Raya is unique among all of them. For he showed how one can extend his ecstatic love to the extreme limit. Ramanand Raya directed the two girls how to dance, express the deep meaning of his songs through dramatic performances. He taught them how to express the symptoms of continuous, natural, and transitional ecstasies with the movements of their faces, their eyes, and the other parts of their bodies. Though the feminine poses and dances through them, they were taught by Ramanand Raya. The two girls precisely exhibited all these expressions of ecstasy before Lord Jagannath. Then Ramananda Raya fed the two girls sumptuous prasadam and then sent them to their homes. Every day he trained these two Devadasis how to dance. Who among the small living entities, their minds always absorbed in material sense gratification, would understand the mentality of Sri Ramananda Raya? When the servant informed Ramanand Raya of Pradhyumna Mishra, after all this was done, then Ramanand Raya came back to his duties, and the servant said, Pradyumna Raya is waiting for you for a long time, sir. He came out, he offered his obeisances to Pradyumna Mishra, and with great humility he spoke. Bahukshayna aila more kehana kahila, tomara charane mora aprada haila. He said, I'm sorry, no one informed me Therefore, I have certainly become an offender at your lotus feet. I delayed you. Still, please don't mind. But I feel very happy you have come to my home. My entire home has been purified by your arrival. Kindly order me. What can I do for you? I am your servant. मिश्र कहे तुम्ही देखिता हाईल अगमने अगमने आपण पवित्र कैलू तुम्हारा दर्शने. Pradyumna Misra said, I simply came to see you. And looking at you, I have purified myself. And it was very late. He did not say anything to Ramanand Raya. Instead, he said, today it's very late. I think I should take a leave now. I will go. I will come back again. Next day also, Pradyumna Mishra arrived in the presence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the Lord asked, so you went to Ramanand Raya? What happened there? Did you learn anything? Pradyumna Mishra described all the things that he heard from the servant that, okay, Ramananda Raya is teaching the girls and all those things. And he spoke everything. This is what happened yesterday. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Amita sannyasi, आपणारे विरक्त करी मानी दर्शने राहु दूरे प्रकृतिरा नाम यदि सुनी तो बही विकार पाया मोर तनु मन प्रकृति दर्शने स्थिर हय कोन जन. रामानंदेर रायर कथा सुन सर्व जन कही बरा कथा नहीं यह आश्चर्य कथन. I am a sannyasi, Pradyumn. He said, I certainly consider myself renounced. But what to speak of seeing a woman? If I even hear the name of a woman, I feel change in my mind and body. Therefore, who could remain unmoved by the sight of a woman? It is very difficult. Everyone, please hear these topics about Ramananda Raya. Although they are so wonderful and uncommon, they should not be spoken. एक देव दासियारा सुंदरी तरुणी तारा सब अंग सेवा करे न अपनी स्नानादि कराया पराया वासभूषण गुये अंगे रहय ताहा दर्शन स्पर्शन. The two professional dancers are beautiful and youthful, and Ramanand Raya is touching them, massaging them, dressing them, decorating them. In this way, naturally, sometimes some private parts of their bodies could also be seen. Even then, tabu nirvikara raya ramanande ramana nana bhavodgara tare karaya shikshana. Nevertheless, the mind of Sri Ramanand Raya never changes. Although he teaches the girls how to physically express all the transformations of ecstasy, his mind is as steady as wood or stone. Indeed, it is wonderful that even when he touches such young girls, his mind never changes. The authority for such acts is the prerogative of Ramanand Raya alone. For I can understand that his body is no more material. It has been transformed into complete spiritual entity. He alone and no one else can understand the position of his mind. But I can make a guess in terms of the Shastras. The Vedic scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam, gives the direct evidence in this matter. Vrajavadhu sange krishnera rasadi vilas yei jana kahe sune kariya vishwas hridaroga kama tanra tat kale hayakshaya tina guna kshobhanahi mahadhirahaya. विक्रीडितं व्रजवधूभिरः इदं च विष्णो श्रद्धान्वितो अनुशृणुयात् अथा वर्णयेद्यः भक्तिं परां भगवती प्रतिलभ्य कामां हृदरोगमाशुपहिनोति अचिरेण धीरः. Mahaprabhu said, quoted this quote from this shloka from, this is the last shloka of Gopi Geet in the Rasa Panchadhyay, chapter 33. And Shukdev Goswami says there, anybody who hears the dealings between Gopi and Krishna and who are tasting this ecstatic love, he says, the one who hears and the one who describes with great faith the pastimes of Lord Krishna, such as his rasa dance with the gopis, then the disease of the lusty heart goes away, and the agitation caused by the three modes of material nature are immediately nullified, and he becomes sober and silent. So, Ramanand Raya is very, very pure. Yei shune yei pade tanra fal etadrishi sei bhavavishta yei seva ahirnishi. Tanra fal ki kahimu kahane nayaya nitya siddha sei raya siddha tanra kaya. If a transcendently situated person following in the footsteps of Sri Rupa Goswami hears and speaks about the Rāsa-lila dance of Krishna and is always absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna while serving the Lord day in and night within his mind, what shall I say about the result? It is so spiritually exalted that it cannot be expressed in words. Such a person is an internally liberated associate of the Lord, and his body is completely spiritualized. Although he is visible to material eyes, he is spiritually situated and all his activities are spiritual. By the will of Krishna, such a devotee is understood to possess a spiritual body. And it is a fact. Practice it, no matter how much it is written, the one who practices only will know. This Gopi Geet, Geet Govind, they appear like some dealings between a handsome boy called Krishna and so many other gopis who are handsome young girls. And you may think, oh, this is just like any other thing, but no. The one who is doing with faith, that this is Bhagwan performing the leelas with the gopis. And the more you do, the more you do, the more you do, keep doing, keep doing, keep doing. One day you will know. All the kam vikar, as we say, all the lusty things have gone away. And instead, only beautiful love remains, which is free from all these three modes of material nature. And that is the magic. It's a magic in this thing. So Mahaprabhu is saying, even though he's like he looks like all this, like a material body, but his mind is so spiritualized, his body is also spiritualized. Raganuga marge jani rayera bhajana siddha deha tulya tate prakrita nahi mana. Mahaprabhu said Ramanand Raya is situated on the path of Raganuga Bhakti, Raganuga Marga, which is spontaneous love immediately. Therefore, he is in his spiritual body and his mind is totally unaffected. Amirayer asthana suni Krishna Katha sunite ichha hayayadi punayaha tatha mora namalaya teho pathaila more tomara sthane Krishna Katha suni bharatare. He said, I also hear topics about Krishna from Ramananda Raya. If you want to hear such topics, go to him again and tell him now. Mention my name. Say, I send you. And then he will tell you the deepest topics. Go hastily. While he is in assembly room, hearing this, Pradhyumna Misra again went to Ramanand Raya. Ramanand Raya saw him and he said, please order me, sir, what do you want? How can I help you? Now Pradyumna said, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has sent me to hear topics of Lord Krishna from you. Hearing this, Ramanand Raya got absorbed in ecstatic love and then began to speak with great transcendental pleasure. He said, following the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have come to hear about Krishna. That is my great fortune and what a great opportunity. And then Ramanand Raya said, what kind of Krishna Katha do you want to hear from me? Pradhyumna Mishra said, can you please speak on the same topics you spoke with Mahaprabhu when he met you first time in Vidyanagar? I understand that you are an instructor for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. He keeps speaking about you so highly. So I'm just a beggar Brahmana and you are my maintainer. So please tell me those topics which you spoke to Mahaprabhu in Vidyanagara. Therefore, thereupon Ramanand Raya gradually began speaking on the topics of Krishna. And thus the ocean of transcendental mellows of those topics became agitated. While he's speaking Ramanand Raya, he's himself raising question and he's himself answering them. वक्त्र श्रोता कहे सुने दोने प्रेम वेशे आत्मा स्मृति नहीं कहा जानी बादी न शेषे. The speaker and the listener, they are both hearing with ecstatic love and they forgot their bodily consciousness. How then could they perceive the end of the day? The day, and this is what happens when people meet, especially topics of like even Ramanand Raya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's topics, or Gopi Geet, or Rasa Panchadhyay, or any Leela from chapter 10 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right now we are very lucky. In Hindi classes also, it's only Prema Leela that is going on, Krishna Leela, and everything is on the same page. So it feels very nice. The topics are such that time just passes. I have a friend, so with her, if we used to meet in those days earlier, whole night we would lose sleep. Whole night we are only talking about these things. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Ramanand Raya and anything about Krishna topics. You don't see the time. So this is what is happening between these two. Who is seeing the time? Nobody wants to see the time. And the whole day just passed. And the servant suddenly came there. He said, "Sir, day has already ended. You guys are talking so much." Ramananda said, "Really? So soon?" Yeah. And then they had to end the discourse about Krishna. Ramanand Raya paid great respect to Pradhyumna Mishra and then bade him farewell. Pradhyumna Mishra said, "I have become so satisfied," and he started to dance. After returning home, Pradhyumna Mishra bathed and ate his meal. In the evening, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and said, "Did you meet Ramanand Raya?" He was like so happy. "Yes." "How was the day?" "Incredible. Ramanand Raya is so excellent. I saw him yesterday in a very different way, but the way he spoke, as if Krishna is speaking through his mouth." Pradhyumna Misra said, "My dear Lord, I'm very, very obliged to you because you have drowned me in a nectarian ocean of talks about Krishna. I cannot properly describe the discourses of Ramanand Raya. He is not an ordinary human being. He is fully absorbed in the devotional service of the Lord. आरा एक कथा राया कहिला हमारे कृष्ण कथा वक्ता करी ना जानी हमोरे. There is one another thing Ramananda said to me. And he said, Ramananda said, "Do not consider me to be the speakers of these talks on Krishna. Whatever I spoke, whatever I'm speaking to you, Pradyumna, whatever I speak is personally spoken by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am just like a string instrument. I'm just vibrating whatever he has spoken to me." In this way, Ramananda told me that in this way, the Lord speaks through my mouth to preach the cult of Krishna consciousness within the world. Who will understand the pastime of the Lords? What I have heard from Ramanand Raya is like a nectarian ocean of discourse about Krishna. Even the demigods, beginning with Lord Brahma, cannot understand these topics. My dear Lord, you have made me drink this transcendental nectar of Krishna Katha. Therefore, I am sold at your lotus feet, life after life. प्रभु कहे, रामानंदा विनय रखानी आपणारा कथा परा मुंडे देना आणि. He says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Ramanand Raya, yes, he is a mind of great humility. Therefore, even though he speaks, but he tells, I am the one making him speak. He has attributed his own words to another's intelligence. And this is the natural characteristics of those advanced in devotional service. Mahanubhavera ei sahaj swabhava hai. Those who are Mahanubhavs, great people, this is their nature. Apanara guna nahi apane kahaya. They don't keep bragging about themselves. They give the credit to others. Ramananda Raya ei kahila gunalesha, Pradyumna Miśra eiche kaila upadesha. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I have tried to describe a fraction of the transcendental attributes of Ramanand Raya as revealed when he instructed Pradyumna Mishra. Although Ramanand Raya was a householder, he was not under the control of the 6 kinds of bodily changes. Although apparently a pounds and shillings man, he advised even persons in the renounced order. To demonstrate the transcendental attributes of Ramanand Raya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Pradyumna Mishra to hear discourses about Krishna from him. Mahaprabhu knows how to demonstrate the qualities of his devotees. Therefore, acting like an artistic painter, he does so in various ways and considers this his personal profit. That there is yet another characteristics of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. O devotees, listen carefully. How he manifests his opulence and characteristics, although they are exceptionally deep. To vanquish the false pride of the so-called renunciants and learned scholars, he spreads real religious principles, even though through a Shudra, a low-born or fourth-class man. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached about bhakti. Bhakti prema tattva kahe rai kari vakta apani Pradyumna Mishra saha hai shrota. He said, Mahaprabhu played this game. He wanted to give the knowledge of bhakti and prema. Prema means divine love. So he is a renunciant. And Pradhyumn Mishra is a Brahmana. Both of them are Brahmana and one of them is renunciant. But both of these Brahmanas are going and learning about Krishna Katha from this householder, Ramanand Raya. Not only householder, he's from the low caste. And his dealings are with all sorts of worldly people. So these two people are so-called pure people from the society, but Ramanand Raya is in the society. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to bring out the qualities of Ramanand Raya, does this game, does this play. He makes Pradyumna Mishra go. He's a Brahmana. You want to learn Krishna Katha? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could have given himself. He says, no, I don't know. You go to Ramanand Raya. And Pradyumna Mishra went there. And then first day he was Pradyumna Mishra, had a little doubt what is happening. He's dancing with the 2 girls. And where did Mahaprabhu send me? Probably. But then he came to know the glories of Ramanand Raya. So this is what Mahaprabhu does. Brings out the qualities of his own devotees. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited the glories of the holy name of the Lord through Haridas Thakur, who was born in a Muslim family. And similarly, he exhibited the essence of devotional service to Sanatan Goswami, who had almost converted himself to a Muslim. Although also the Lord exhibited ecstatic love and transcendental pastimes of Vrindavan through Srila Rupa Goswami. They are brothers. Considering all this, who can understand the deep plans of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It has gone, this bhakti and prema is beyond caste, beyond your social standing. So it's beyond everything. The activities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are like ocean of nectar. Even a drop of this ocean can inundate all the 3 worlds. O devotees, relish this nectar of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For doing so, one can merge into the transcendental bliss and attain full knowledge. Thus, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, accompanied by his associates, his pure devotees, enjoyed transcendental bliss in Jagannath Puri, Nilachal, by preaching bhakti in cult in many ways. A Brahmana, now another story starts. He says, Bangadesha eke vipra prabhura charite नाटक करी लाया आयला प्रभु के सुनैते भगवान आचार्य सने तारा परचय तान रे मिली तान रा घरे करिला अलय. One time a Brahmana from Bengal wrote a drama about the characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and came with a manuscript. and induce the Lord to read it. The Brahmana was acquainted with Bhagwan Acharya, and therefore after meeting him at Jagannath Puri, the Brahmana made his residence at the home of Bhagwan Acharya. First, he told Bhagwan Acharya, please read my manuscript. I have written about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath Ji. All the Vaishnavas also read. So they all said, very good, very good. They desired Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to read it. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not read anything unless it has gone through Swaroop Damodar, because Swaroop Damodar knows Mahaprabhu's mind very clearly. So Swaroop Damodar has to read it, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will read. If passed by Swaroop Damodar Goswami, it could be presented for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to hear. If there were a hint that transcendental mellows overlapped in a manner contrary to the principles of bhakti cult, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not tolerate it, and he would become very angry. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not hear anything before Swaroop Damodar heard it first. So Bhagwan Acharya went to Swaroop Damodar and said, please, he is my friend. He has written something about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath. Please read it. Read the drama and tell us how it is. If you hear it, then Mahaprabhu will also hear it. Swaroop said, dear Bhagwan Acharya, you are very liberal. You just hear any kind of poetry. And you just come and tell me also here, because before that, Bhagwan Acharya had somebody who had come who wanted to talk about Vedanta philosophy, and Bhagwan Acharya is like, please read. And there are many people like that. Like they will read anything. And they will want the others to read it. But not necessary. Like there are so many speakers. Like I get invited to many places, and there are so many speakers. I'm like, no, I cannot read it. I cannot hear anybody else. I just would like to hear Maharaji. Nobody else. And similarly, so many books are there. I don't like to read any books. After reading Bhagavatam, I'm done. I am done. Gita and Bhagavad, two great books, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. What else is there to read? Because we have developed a certain taste. And if the books don't match that taste, then we don't like the books. There could be love stories, worldly love stories, very nicely written. There are bestsellers in the world. You give me, but I cannot read it because it's not matching my taste. So same way with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, people have written about Jagannath Ashtakam and whatever it is. Jagannath Ji. But if it has a different mellow means Mahaprabhu is always in the Madhurya Bhav. And if that story has some different mellow, then it is called as Rasabhas. It is not giving the joy. So Swaroop Damodar is saying, Bhagwan Acharya, you just like to read everybody and you like to hear anyone. Again, you have come back to me with this request for reading this poetry. In the writings of so-called poets, there is generally a possibility of overlapping transcendental mellows. And when the mellows thus go against the conclusive understanding, no one likes to hear such poetry. A so-called poet who has no idea of transcendental mellows, and it happens, there are poets who can write good poetry, but they do not know what the mellow is all about. The mellow of a bhakta is very different. So here he's trying to make him understand, Bhagwan Acharya, you're telling me to read, but I know he's not a devotee. I know he has not experienced these mellows. I know he's not worshipping Jagannath or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that mellow. He may be a great intelligent person who must have written a great poetry with a lot of ornamentation, but he has to feel it. He has to be in tune with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feeling to write about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Bhagwan Acharya was like, please. He said, I'm telling you again, one who has accepted the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his life and soul can describe the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hearing the poetry of a person who has no transcendental knowledge and who writes about the relationship between man and woman simply causes unhappiness. Whereas hearing the words of a devotee fully absorbed in ecstatic love causes great happiness. The standard for writing dramas has been set by Rupa Goswami. You read his introductory shloka and that itself will create the love for Bhagwan. Because Rupa Goswami is in tune with Mahaprabhu. Still, Bhagavan Acharya is like, please read the drama once. If you hear it, and you can consider it after, you don't come to the conclusion like this. Please hear it. If you hear it, maybe something is good. You're just assuming. For 2 or 3 days, Bhagavan Acharya continually asked, please read it, please read it. Swaroop said, okay, bring that poetry from that Brahmana from Bengal. Then he sat down with the devotees. Swaroop Damodar sat down with the other devotees to hear the poetry. When the poet started reading the verses, the introductory verse, Vikachakamalā netre Shri Jagannatha samagne Kanakaruchid ihatmani Atmatam yah prapannaha Prakriti jadam ashesham Chetayan avirasita Sadishyatu tava bhavyam Krishna Chaitanya devam. I'm reading the meaning of this. To understand it, actually, one has to know a little bit of Sanskrit, then it becomes much easier. Still, I'll read it. When a poetry is presented to somebody, the way you analyze the poetry is first you see the grammar, then you see the right words, and then you see how the words have been used with each other to express the emotion. And is all the emotion coming grammatically correct as well as emotionally correct? It is called yatharth and bhavarth as it is, and then the feeling behind it, both of them. So, and Sanskrit is very different language. Sanskrit means every word can convey many meanings. So even though this writer is a very scholarly person, he's written this. I'll read the meaning. When we as ordinary people read the meaning, we'll feel, it is written so nicely. But for intelligent people who know the Sanskrit, they're like, these are all mistakes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has assumed a golden complexion and has become the soul of the body, named Lord Jagannath. So the meaning is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has assumed a golden complexion and has become the soul and body named Lord Jagannath, whose blooming lotus eyes are wide expanded. Thus, he has appeared in Jagannath Puri and brought dull matter to life. May that Lord Krishna Chaitanya Deva bestow all good fortune upon him. So, on the face of it, yes, you read, you're like, wow, wow. Those who do not understand, they'll be like, wow, yes, yes. He has brought life to Jagannath Puri in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who has come. Yes, yes, he's the life and the soul. But for a person who knows Jagannath Ji and who knows Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they'll get burning in their heart. What are you talking? What are you talking? Yes, it is true. Mahaprabhu is the life and soul. That is true. But what do you mean? That Jagannath Ji in Jagannath temple is dull matter? It's made out of wood? Oh, you were never attached to the Jagannath Murti then. So person who's attached to Jagannath Murti, he knows Jagannath Murti is living. It is not dull matter. And it is not dull matter. That living Murti has become as a moving Murti in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So partly it is true and partly it is not. So the one who understands. But for the other Vaishnavas, wow, wow, wow. Everybody heard that verse. They all commended the poet. But Swaroop Damodar said, kindly explain this verse. The poet said, the Lord Jagannath is most beautiful body. He has the most beautiful body. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is exceptionally great, is the owner of that body. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared in Nilachal to spiritualize the dull material world. Hearing this, everyone was very greatly happy, and only Swaroop Damodar was getting annoyed. And he said, Are Murkha, O fool, Apanara Kaili Sarvanasha, you have brought ill fortune upon you. Why? Duite Ishvara Tora Nahika Vishwasa. You do not trust that both of them are Ishwar. that Jagannath ji is also living and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also living. Both of them are Ishwar. You have faith in neither of them. Lord Jagannath is completely spiritual and full of transcendental bliss. But you have compared him to a dull, destructible body composed of some inert external energy of the Lord. You have calculated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full in six opulences, to be on the level of an ordinary living being. Instead of knowing him as a supreme fire, you are accepting him as a spark. You have committed an offense to Lord Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu both. Dui thane aprade paibe durgati. You are headed towards some hellish destination. Atatva jane tatva varne tara iriti. You do not know the tattva. You do not know the essence. And then you are describing the tattva, thinking you know everything. You must be condemned. Arai kariya cha parama pramada. Deha dehi bheda ishware kaila aprad. You are in complete illusion. For you have distinguished between the body and the soul. You're saying the body and the soul of Mahaprabhu. He said, body and the soul are the same for Bhagwan. That is a great offense. Ishwarera nahi kabhu deha bheda, Swaroop deha chidananda nahi kabhi bheda. At no time there is distinction between the body and the soul of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His personal identity and his body are made up of blissful spiritual energy. There is no distinction between them. Where कहाँ पूर्णानंद ऐश्वर्य कृष्ण माहेश्वर कहाँ शूद्र जीव दुखी मायर किंकर. You are telling Mahaprabhu has come in a bodily form and his soul is different and Mahaprabhu is different, and then what are you saying? His body is also spiritual body, his soul is also spiritual, he is spirit himself. He went on saying, सुनी सभा छदेरा चित्त हैला चमत्कार सत्य कहे गोसाई तो ना दोनारा करी ये तिरस्कार. When Swaroop Damodar presented his things like this, everybody understood. The audience also understood that they were praising this poetry. Now they are like, yes, 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 Bab, yes, 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 Swaroop Damodar, yes, yes, Goswami, whatever you are saying is right. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, we didn't notice this. Yes, 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 yes. The Brahmana from Bengal was embarrassed. When he heard all this chastisement from Swaroop Damodar, he was ashamed. And indeed, being like a duck in the society of white swans, he could not say anything. Seeing the poet's unhappiness, Swaroop Damodar Goswami is naturally kind-hearted. He advised him, you have to just change your poetry a little bit. Don't feel so bad. I know you ornamented it very nicely, but you are not getting the bhava. So bring the bhava out. Bhava means the feeling. If you want to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, he said, you must approach first a self-realized Vaishnava and hear from him. You can do this when you have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the way. People think they can read the Gita by themselves. They can think they can do the Bhagavatam by themselves. What? It is just English language or Hindi language, just language. That's all, right? Translations are available. So we can read the translation and we can understand. So this person is one of those people. Very knowledgeable. They know everything, but they do not know anything. That's the reality. Unless you associate with a devotee, unless you get the feeling, the association of the devotee is very different, because through the devotee, Bhagwan speaks. So now Swaroop Damodar is saying, you are good, I know, you are trying to touch that. But no, you should first associate with a Vaishnava, learn the Srimad Bhagavatam. And for that, you will need the blessing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is what the method is. Chaitanya re bhakta ganer nitya kara sanga tabeta jani ba siddhant samudra taranga Swaroop Damodar continued, associate regularly with the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and for then only you will understand the waves of devotional service. Only if you follow the principles of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees will your learning be successful. Then you will be able to write about the transcendental pastimes of Krishna without material contamination. You have composed this introductory verse to your great satisfaction, but the meaning that you have expressed is contaminated by the offenses to both Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath Ji. You have written something irregular, not knowing the regulative principles, but the goddess of learning, Saraswati, has used your words to offer prayers to the Supreme Lord. Sometimes demons and even Lord Indra, the king of heaven, they chastise Krishna. But Mother Saraswati is always wanting to praise Bhagavan. So she gets into their tongue and praises Krishna. Vachalam balisham stabdam agyam pandita maninam krishnam martayam upashita gopame chakrur apriyatam. Lord Indra said, this Krishna, when Bhagavan did the Gaudiya-lila and crushed the ego of Krishna, of Indra, then Indra spoke. He said, this Krishna, who is an ordinary human being, is talkative, childish, impudent, and ignorant. And although he thinks himself very learned, the cowherd men in Vrindavan have offended me by accepting him. This has not been greatly appreciated by me. Indra, the king of heaven, being too proud of his heavenly opulences, became like a madman. Thus, bereft of his intelligence, he could not restrain himself from speaking nonsensically about Krishna. Indra bole, Muni Krishnera kari yache nindana, tara ei mukhe Saraswati kare nastavana. Thus Indra thought, I have properly chastised Krishna and defamed him. But Saraswati, the goddess of learning, took the opportunity to offer praise to Krishna. Vachala kaiye veda pravartaka dhanya balisha tatapi shishu priya garva shunya. The word vachal is used to refer to a person who can speak according to Vedic authority, and the word balisha means innocent. Krishna spoke the Vedic knowledge, and he always presented himself as a prideless, innocent boy. So now he took the shloka and he's explaining to him. Swaroop Damodar Das took that shloka and explained to the Brahman, Bengali Brahman. He said, Vachalam, Balisham, Stabdam. Even though Indra used to humiliate, this shloka he used to humiliate Krishna. But through him, Saraswati is speaking. And she's saying, Vachalam? Yes, Krishna is Vachalam. Vachalam means the one who knows Vedas. Yes. Balisham, who's like a kid. Yes, Krishna is very innocent. Stabdam, the another word is Stabdam. He explains. Stabdam means one there is when there is no one else to receive obeisances. One may be called an amra, or one who offers obeisances to no one. This is the meaning of the word stabda. So of course, yes, stabdam means nobody else. Whom do you bow down to? And because no one is found to be more learned than Krishna, he may be called Ajna, indicating that nothing is unknown to him. So even though this was a very humiliating shloka spoken by Indra, but it had another meaning which is spoken by Saraswati. So Vachalam, Balisham, Stabdam, Agnyam, Pandita, Maninam. So he is Agnyam, yes, he knows everything. Stabdam means everything stops, comes and stops near him. Yes. Krishna Martyam Upashritya Gopame Chakrura Priyam. He went on explaining each and every word. He said, the word Pandit Mani means all the Pandit Pandit pray to him. He's not affected by anything. And Krishna appears like an ordinary being. Therefore, he may be called Martya. Jarasandha, then he quoted Jarasandha. Jarasandha also said, Krishna Purush Adhama. Tora sange na yujmu. Yahi bandhu hana. The demon Jarasandha also chastised Krishna. You are the lowest of human beings. I shall not fight with you. You killed your own relative. But this one also has a different meaning. He says, Mother Saraswati takes the words Purushadhama as Purushottama. That everybody is Adham to this greatest Purush. Adham means everybody is low. Those who understand the Sanskrit will understand. Purushadham, one is you are the lowest. Adham Purush means you are the lowest of all. But another meaning would be everybody is lowly to you. So you are Purushottam. So he's saying, so Damodar is explaining that the same Sanskrit shloka, Indra is speaking, it appears humiliation. But to a devotee, it is not humiliation. We know, oh, Saraswati is speaking and praising Krishna. Jaraswanda is getting angry and speaking such thing. Oh, you are Adhama, Purushadhama. The devotee thinks, yes, yes, he is the greatest, everybody is Adhama. No one is lower. Purushadhama means Purushottam. To him, all men are subordinate. And then Jarasan said, Yahi bandhuhana. So bandhuhana means the one who killed his own relatives. But the other scholar will say, yes, yes, he's right. He's bandhu. He's friend of everybody. Another thing is bandhuhana means he is the one who will, because everybody is surrounded by nishans, maya. Yes, he's bandhuhana. Bandhu means bound. So he's like, yes, true. He is the one who uh, cuts away everything. Nishans or Maya may be called Bandhu because she's entangling everybody in the material world. Therefore, by using the Bandhuhan means he is the one who cuts this cord of entanglement or the vanquisher of Maya. Mata Sushupala, then he gave the third example. So first he gave example of Indra. Then he gave the example of Jarasandha. Now he's giving third example. He said, Shishupala also. He went on giving galis, giving bad words to Krishna. He also blasphemed. Mata Shishupala Karila Nindana Seiva Ke Saraswati Karena Stavana. Shishupal also blasphemed Krishna in this way. But the goddess of Lakshmi, but the goddess of learning Saraswati, she came into him and then praised Krishna. Taiche shloka tomar arthe ninda aise Saraswati ra artha sunayate stuti bhase. He said, in the similar manner, you tried to say the shloka, but Saraswati came inside your shloka and then she has praised also. So yes, I showed you one side of your shloka. Now I will show you the other side of the shloka. In this way, although your verse is blasphemous according to your meaning, Mother Saraswati has taken the advantage to offer it to prayer to the Lord. There is no difference between Lord Jagannath and Krishna, but Lord Jagannath is fixed as the absolute person appearing in wood, and therefore he does not move. And thus Lord Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although appearing as two, they are one because they both are Krishna, who is one alone. The supreme desire to deliver the entire world meets in the two of them. And for that reason, they are one and the same. To deliver all the materially contaminated people of the world, the same Krishna has descended in the moving form as Lord Chaitanya and as a fixed form in Lord Jagannatha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu moves from country to country. Jagannath just stays in Jagannath Puri. Thus, I have explained the meaning, the intended meaning. So, don't feel bad. Sometimes it so happens that one who wants to chastise Krishna utters the holy name. And thus, the holy name becomes the cause for his liberation. Upon hearing this proper explanation of this by Swaroop Damodar Goswami, the Bengali poet, fell down at the feet of all the devotees there, and then everybody accepted his association, explaining his humble behavior. They introduced him to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by the mercy of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that poet from Bengal gave up all other activities and stayed with them at Jagannath Puri. Who can explain the mercy of devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I have described the narration concerning Pradyumna Mishra and how, following the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he listened to the discourses about Krishna spoken by Ramanand Raya. The pastimes of Lord Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are the essence of nectar. From the stream of one of his pastimes flow hundreds and thousands of branches. Anyone who reads and hears these pastimes with faith and love can understand the truth about devotional service, devotees, and transcendental mellows of the pastimes of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus, we end the 5th chapter. Monday, when we meet, we'll hear the 6th chapter meetings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Raghunandas Goswami. So, not many questions here. The devotee's perspective, person pure in heart sees the meaning of words so differently. Yes, true. They see Krishna in everything. All right. So with this, we end it. When we end the class, may all your day and night be Chaitanya mein. Jai Shri Krishna. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Guru Ma.